And welcome to another episode of the Surrendered Podcast. And you're here for a reason. You're here because you're a man who's been called to serve and to lead, and you're probably struggling a little bit. You're struggling in a cycle of building and burning, creating and crashing, and pursuing and denying. And as a man who's been called to serve and to lead, you're also struggling with not only your mission, whether that's in law enforcement as a first responder, whether that's a coach, whether that's a businessman, what you are pursuing, but you're also struggling at home with your wife and your kids, and you need help. And I'm here to help you. And in the last episode, I mentioned we're moving in a bit of a different direction, but it's really just a narrowing, really just a clarifying, and just getting more and more clear of the men who I am going to be serving, that I am serving. And like I said, they're men like you who are called to serve and to lead. And what I found over the past 8 years, as I've been married for 8 years, that there is a big, big challenge, a big force, a darkness, a spirit, an enemy, whatever you want to call it, against our marriages. And not only against our marriages, but against us as men who are called to serve and called to lead as we pursue that calling. We've been given a calling. God has put a calling on our hearts. And we've either pursued it and now we're struggling at home in the marriage, or we're struggling at home in the marriage and we're still trying to find what that purpose is, what that mission is that you've been called to. So, men, I just want to first encourage you, you're in the right spot. We're going to be diving in and moving forward, and I'm just going to be sharing. I'm going to be real with my own struggles to support you and encourage you. And just again, just be real, because there's a facade with social media that we have to make it look good, make it look perfect. And I'll be honest, I got on that train. I rode that train for years, not only as a coach, as a businessman, but also within my other jobs in law enforcement, corrections, working in schools. I rode that train of let's make it all look good. The reality is there's fires burning. And it's our job as men to manage these fires. We can put them out great, but there's always going to be fires. If you are living, breathing, there's always going to be fires that we have to manage. And maybe they get put out today, maybe they don't. Maybe they get put out next week, next month. But the reality is, we have troubles, we have trials, we have tribulations. This is biblical, this is true. And we've admit you're probably in the same spot as me, that I believe the lie, that if I just get to this point, it's going to get better. And I won't have the trials. I won't have the troubles. If I just get to this point and I get to that point, and then there's other troubles and trials, and then I'm okay. If I get to this point, and it just keeps going. And we never truly make it. And it's this concept that I've learned I learned back in August, and it's just been continuing to grow and sit in my heart and my mind. And as I've been doing the work myself to grow and expand, I'm seeing the reality of it. I'm seeing the truth in it. And now we're never going to get to a place where there's no trouble, where there's no tribulation, where there's no trials, where there's no fires. The reality is we're going to have it. We're going to have them. If you're breathing, you're going to have troubles and trials. If you're married, you're going to have troubles and trials. If you have a job, a business, a mission, you're going to have troubles and trials. There is an enemy against us, plain and simple. Working in law enforcement, this is like when we're not aware of it, we start to believe all the other things of the world that, oh, it's just the way it is. In marriage, you start to think, oh well, she wasn't the right one, or she's just complaining and nagging, or she doesn't love me, or I don't love her, and we've changed, we've grown apart, which might be true, but the reality is there's reasons all of that has happened. In your health, it's the same way. You don't have time, you don't have the money to eat healthy, you don't have the the right equipment, you work long hours. Some of those are probably true, or at least partially true, but they're not fully true. In your business, same thing. You don't have the right clients, you're don't you're not doing the right things, marketing, or the economy is bad, president. Again, some of those may be partially true, but it's not the full truth. Full truth is you have to take responsibility for yourself, in your health, in your marriage, in your business. And as we move forward, we're just going to get real. We're going to get honest about what shit's going on in my life. And hopefully that sheds some reality on to your life and opens up possibilities for you to just take action, to take action towards improving, towards expanding, towards eternal expansion as we grow and move forward. So, moving forward, we're just going to kind of give a playback of the week, and there's going to be topics I'm going to talk about, but there's going to be conversations and talking points. It's just going to be what's going on in my life, and just going to be real and raw. So let's dive in. This past week has been, I'll back it up a little bit. The past year has been the most difficult year for me. Easily most difficult year. A year ago, wife said she was leaving me, and I've been on this journey of just finding answers. And what I found is truth. What I found is reality. What I found is growth. And what I found is a constant ebb and flow of being in a pit, climbing out of the pit, realizing you're in another pit, and climbing out of that pit, realizing you're in another pit, climbing out of that pit. And this is eternal expansion. Just like it talked about with the fires. There's always going to be a fire. There's always going to be something we need to do to improve ourselves, to serve and lead others And this isn't going away until we're dead. So get used to it, get comfortable with it, get honest with it. So as I've been going, and I've talked about this a little bit, but as I've been going over the last year, um, August did warrior method, warrior trainer cert, and just diving into stacking and ultimately getting clear about what I want, getting real and raw with what I'm feeling. And there's been a lot of deep, dark shit that has come up that I've been suppressing and hiding and trying to run away from. And like if I would have been doing this weekly just kind of review with you guys in the last 3 months, even like be crazy. It's been a crazy ride, and the biggest one is just letting go, letting go of the fact that I can't make choices. I can't fix my wife. I can't change her mind. I can't change her heart, her or anybody else. So letting go of that fact that she is in control of her. I'm not in control of her. Well, the Bible may say, hey, you're supposed to submit to your husband, but she has a choice not to. My choice is to love, to serve and to lead. And what's been helping me with that is again letting go, but also getting an understanding of the stories I've been telling myself and the stories I've been telling myself about her. And over the past few months, I've realized that, I've told some stories that, it's her fault. She doesn't want to learn. She doesn't want to grow. She doesn't want to be with me. And I've also realized some things as I've began to open up and just be able to be in control of my emotions, be in control when shit's not going my way. And as I've opened up, I've realized that, oh shit, the stories I've been telling myself aren't real. She actually does care about me. And I shared this on an Instagram where the one day, I was out walking. It was super windy, and she just sent a message saying, "Hey, watch out for branches falling from trees," because I was walked through the woods. And I thought, well, first, first, previously, over the past 7.5 years, I would take that advice from her and blame her for trying to be my mom and trying to just take care of me in a way that, like, I'm a man, I can take care of myself. Like, stop telling me what to do. But the reality is, like, that's not what she was trying to do. That was just my projection. And what she was trying to do was simply care for me, love me, so that we could be together longer. And this was a major realization for me of breakthrough. Now, I'd love to say that, oh, everything's now fine and dandy, but it's not. We're still learning, we're still growing. There's, again, what I've realized is there's so much space that I haven't created, safe space that I have not created for her. And now I have to go back and relearn how I'm showing up, show up better as a husband, and just allow that safe space to be there for her so that we can actually open up and connect. So we can connect verbally, emotionally, sexually. But that's not going to happen if I continue to not control my emotions, to fly off the handle, to blame, to defend whenever she starts bringing something up. And what I've realized is I have to start listening. And as men, that we're terrible at this until we learn how important it is, and realize that we have to start listening and not try to fix her problems, not try to fix her. And that's a big issue for most married men, is we think there's something wrong with my wife. Working in law enforcement, like so many times with domestic disputes, domestic assaults, you hear it almost every time. They're blaming their wife and saying that there's something wrong with her. She's crazy. That's a big one. And I've thought that one myself. The reality is, she's probably not the crazy one. It's us who aren't in check with our emotions and aren't in control of our emotions and how we respond to our emotions that are the crazy ones. So that's been some big breakthroughs over the past just couple weeks. And the this morning, as I've even as I'm continuing to create this space, continuing to try to just improve the situation, improve how I show up. And during my prayer, God said, "Hey, just communicate with her that you want to have a conversation. Don't force the conversation. Just say, I just want to sit down and have a conversation. If you would allow us, if you would have time to do this." And she started saying, how busy she was and things she had to do, and I just, okay, I'm just letting you know this is where I'm at. This is, I would just want to have a conversation. And at this point, it hasn't happened. Will it happen today? I don't know. Do I trust and believe it will happen? Will this conversation happen? Yes. And going through that this morning, and then working out and doing meditation. And meditation, I did a guided meditation, and it was a beautiful thing, where I was guided through this door into a garden, and met what they labeled as my spiritual guide. But for me, I know my spiritual guide, and that's Jesus. And I met Jesus, and he gave me some answers of, hey, it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be some months of healing and growing through this. So just be patient. And he let me know that he's with me. And he gave me this, he was this light, this bright light, almost like fire, but he wasn't being consumed, kind of like the burning bush. And before I left, there was just a dissolving. Not that he dissolved and went away, but he dissolved into me and gave me the fire. And if you have no spiritual background, or new to spirituality and faith, and this probably sounds crazy. Meditation, this probably sounds crazy. And that's fine. You can think that. That's fine. But the reality is, that was my experience. And moving forward, it's going to get real, and it's going to get crazy. And I know there's going to be people that are going to listen to this and be like, this guy's full of shit. And that's fine. That's fine. I'm on my own path. You guys are on your path. I'm on my own path. And I'm here to guide any men who feel called to serve and to lead. I'm here to guide you and to guide you to win at home first. You know, it's easy for us to get to win in the world, to win in business, to win in as a first responder, to win as a coach. But what's home like? Are we winning at home? And this is one thing my wife, she's been trying to get me to see for years, that we have to win at home first. And unfortunately, it has taken other men to make me realize this. That if we're not winning at home, our production outside of the home is diminished severely. When we're on the same team and just on the same plane and in connection with our wives, the rate of return, the impact that we can have in our business, in coaching, in law enforcement, skyrockets. And quite frankly, I'm excited to see this as we move forward, and it's going to happen. So that's what's been going on last couple months, this week, today. Moving forward, next week, I'm doing a free webinar for anybody that, again, feels called to serve and lead, to help you unlock your full potential, to help you win at home. So if you are interested, go to Surrendered Strength on Instagram and click on the link and get signed up. That's going to be next Thursday, April 2nd. April 10th. Tomorrow's the 2nd, April 10th. So you can get signed up free. And, if something comes up or you can't make it, sign up anyway, and you'll get a recording. I'll send you a recording so you can watch it, so you can start to serve and lead and win at home. So then you can turn around and serve, lead, and win outside of the home and be that much more impactful, that much more effective. So, man, I'm grateful to have you here, and it's going to be a wild ride moving forward. So join the path, join me on the journey, start walking it yourself. Until next time, God bless.